Okay, so sorry there were no videos this week. Things just got really hectic out of the hand, and I'm working on a bunch of projects right now. But instead, I'm going to hopefully, cross my fingers, re-upload this Jumper review video. Now, I did this video a couple years ago, and I had this character called the Not Nostalgia Critic. You know, he was a parody of the Nostalgia Critic, obviously. It's in the title. Not one of my favorite videos I've ever made. There's a lot of things I wish I made more clear, everything looking back. But I think it's still a perfectly fine video as it is. So I'm going to try and re-upload it. I took it down originally because, Fox kept, copyright striking it, and, taking it down. And, even I would, counter it, send a counter notification or whatever. And they, file under fair use, section 107. But hopefully they don't take it down this time. So, just cross my fingers. So, yeah, well, alright. So, without any further ado, enjoy.
Hello, I'm not the Nostalgia Critic. I don't remember it because I'm not him. Poor Hayden Christensen. And I mean that. I know this guy can act. But he so rarely gets a good script that his full potential rarely shows. Only a few exceptions has he been able to work with good material and pull off a well performance. Say what you want about his performance in the Star Wars prequels, but he didn't exactly have any material to work with. I mean, come on, could even an Oscar-worthy actor make this dialogue sound adequate?
You're exactly the way I remember you in my dreams.
Oh, not again. But even with the bad material, he still did manage to pull off a few decent moments, especially when all he had to do was act with his facial expressions. Unfortunately, his bad moments outweighed the good, and many people deemed him as a failure for a franchise. But in 2007, Hayden was given one last chance at a licensed film series, Jumper. Loosely based on a novel by the same name, Jumper was about a young man with the ability to teleport anywhere he wanted, but is hunted by swarm annihilators. The film was intended to launch a trilogy of films based on this story arc. But wouldn't you know, the movie bombed. Despite that, director Doug Liman seemed to have genuine passion and interest to bring this story to the big screen. He's directed good movies before, such as The Bourne Identity and The Edge of Tomorrow, so it's really hard to tell who to blame here. So let's find out. This is Jumper. We start off with a monologue from your always shunned actor but booked up model Hayden Christensen, who plays our main character David Rice, boasting about how awesome his life is, but to everyone else it sucks, just like Hayden Christensen.
Let me tell you about my day so far. Coffee in Paris, surfed the Maldives, took a little nap on Mount Kilimanjaro. Oh yeah, and I got digits from this Polish chick in Rio. And then I jumped back for the final quarter of the NBA Finals. I'm standing on top of the world.
Hey, can't fault good casting. Actually, the choice of Hayden is questionable. I stand by everything I said about direction and the lack of it he's had before, but this character, on paper at least, is supposed to be charismatic and charming. But despite his best efforts, he just comes off as creepy. Guess characteristics never change. I don't know. Maybe Chris Pine or Robert Downey Jr. could work, and maybe Hayden put in a different role, but this... Anyway, we fade to a flashback of David as a kid 8 years prior, played by Max Thierrett, who's got the hots for a young girl named Millie. As he tries to give a gift for her, insert cardboard bully cutout number 35, and David falls in a frozen lake. Seeming as though he's going to drown, he all of a sudden ends up in a library. Unsure of what just happened, he walks home and asshole father number 641 intervenes.
Hey, David, get back down here, get a mop and clean this crap up.
So like all teenagers, he locks himself in his room, stressed by his father. He teleports away, unbeknownst after that. Realizing that he has a great power, he decides to run away to the Big Apple. Why? I don't know. He has no motivation or reasoning to. I mean, sure, there's his father, but there's no pacing or thought or anything. Then he ends up in a crappy hotel room. I'm not really sure how that works, considering you have to be 18 to get a room, but hey, logic in this movie is about as far-fetched as Hayden Christensen getting a good script. Hey, I got pages of these I can go on.
Is there a bathroom for customers?
I'm not sure if banks are built like that way in New York, but hey, logic be damned.
I'm gonna need a bigger bag.
After he has a Bill Gates party, we're introduced to Roland, played by Samuel L. Motherfucking Jackson. He's the leader of the group of hunters that execute jumpers like David called the Paladins. So now, David is on the hunt. And as a kid, it's dangerous and hard, and now...
So the story had a happy ending.
Wait, what? What? You mean to tell me that no one in 8 fucking years, no one tracked him down, no one identified him, civilians, the police, or even Samuel L. Jackson in his posse found this kid? Bull fucking shit. Bull and shit. Sorry about that. God, this movie hasn't even started yet and I'm already losing my mind. On we go. So yeah, David is now played again by Hayden Christensen. Lives his life in a sweet apartment. Well, this probably does explain why all characters in 90s movies live in nice apartments without jobs. We see him go about his daily routine, going across the world and getting the only good thing Christensen can get, hot women. Hey, can't fault him for that. He returns home to find that an old friend is waiting.
Oh, I know who you are. I know what you are.
You know, I think this scene had a running joke on set, that this was Mace Windu hunting down Anakin Skywalker for revenge. It would probably make more sense, and, to be honest, be a lot more fun than this mess. Well, how does that work? You get tased and all of a sudden you can't teleport? Jesus, man, this isn't threatening, this is asinine! He does manage to get away to his home to take whatever money he has left that he kept in his father's home.
David,
What?
Don't go. Don't go.
Which results in his ass getting electrocuted. Then David goes to his hometown to visit an old friend.
She's got her own place over on Morton, number 260.
You just gave your daughter's address to a strange man who had presumed to be dead for 8 years. Behold, the power of plot convenience! He then goes to a bar where the bartender, played by Rachel Bilson, and tries to make old means with her. So David wants to take her to Rome. Why? I don't know. Wait a minute, they fly there? Why don't you just teleport there? In fact, why don't you reveal what you can do, or explain why, or better yet, how you were able to avoid contact with anyone from your past in 8 years? Anything? Oh, well, to bang her. Winning? Oh, of course, you have to give an excuse to use the Colosseum in Rome. Wait, what? Holy shit. I'm serious. This is the only film in the history of cinema that I know of managed to get inside this place. That is, not without restrictions. They couldn't have lights, very little crew, and could only go to the subterranean level. But that's okay, because for the lower sections they had a built set, right down to the detail. That's pretty impressive. These days it would have just been all green screen and CGI. So I gotta give them a couple points for that. But their experience is cut short when David runs into another jumper named Griffin, played by Jamie Bell, when the Paladin attack. They manage to fight them off when David gets arrested, but his mom, who is also a Paladin, blah blah blah, afterthought subplot. David takes Millie to the airport to escort her back home.
Remember how I told you you didn't need to tell me everything? changed my mind.
I don't want to lie to you.
But you don't want to tell me the truth either.
I can't get on this flight with you, Millie. This is as far as we go together.
Jesus, I'm getting Attack of the Clones flashbacks because of this. Hide when Roland Windu confronts the father in search of his son's whereabouts, but gives him nothing, which results in his ass getting tased. We cut to Griffin's lair as he tries to convince him to help them to find Roland, but he's not having any of it.
No matter what, they'll kill anyone that gets in their way. Like your family, your friends, that little girlfriend you're traipsing around Rome with you. They're dead. All of them. Get used to it, it's just a matter of time.
You know, if you're going to have an asshole character, you need to have a reason for it beyond asshole for the sake of asshole. David senses terror and finds his father has been injured, and he jumps into the hospital. Now the two have to work together to stop Mace Cox. He goes back to find Millie and decides now to use his powers and come clean.
What?
I'm not in banking, okay?
No, really?
I mean, the money did come from a bank, you know. A few banks, actually.
You know, Anakin was whiny and creepy, but this guy, he's creepy and sociopathic. I mean, he has done nothing but steal, lie, and put this girl in reputable danger. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen. We then have what is actually a pretty cool finale, with only some occasionally bad CGI.
I told you I'm different. Could have dropped you with the sharks.
No comment. We then cut to David visiting his mom to figure out why she left.
5 years old, your first jump. I only had 2 choices. Kill you, or leave you.
So you left.
To protect you.
I was 5.
I did what I had to do. I've never stopped thinking about you. Not even for one day.
Yeah, skip all this. Just end it already.
Where do you want to go?
Surprise.
So that was Jumper. Meh. Just meh. The characters are bland, the acting is dull, the story is far too rushed, but the action scenes are pretty cool, the locations are used to their advantage, the CGI is used sparingly, and there are seeds for a good movie here. It's hard to wrong certain people here. It seems like one of those movies that you just don't know what happened. Bottom line, the movie isn't good, but not bad. But guess what? It wasn't Hayden's fault. I'm not the nostalgia critic. I don't remember it because I'm not him.
You are an abomination.